Hey guys.
Hello.
Shaman.
I'm Yolanda. I'm
Yeah.
Yolanda. I am Yolanda.
From the Connected Relationship.
We are the Connected Relationship. We help couples connect more deeply in their relationship through coaching and couples communication workshops and couples retreats and sharing these little tips.
Right. And we kind of have been doing this kind of New Year resolution, kind of new vision, new goals.
Intention
setting, right.
Whatever you want to call it.
For this, this year. And
2021.
I think we got a new one for today. It's kind of stormy outside tonight. It's getting real dark real quick here. But I think we got kind of a new one tonight to bring forward.
Yeah.
So one thing, and I think this is probably the biggest thing we've ever done in our relationships. It's huge. I would
That's
even
big.
Absolutely.
That's a bold statement.
It is for
I didn't know you were going to come that.
That heavy? Yeah, right.
I mean, like straight out of the gate.
Hold on.
I'm listening.
Hear me out.
I'm listening.
I think, as it pertains to like what your relationship is, where it's going, what you're doing, and I really do believe that if you don't kind of have a direction, you don't kind of have a goal in mind for your relationship, then you're kind of going nowhere.
It's the intentionality.
Right. If you don't have some kind of intention behind what you're doing, behind you and your partner together, it's not going to go anywhere.
It's really easy to just kind of not be intentional and just kind of flounder. I think you kind of flounder.
You float along, right?
Yeah.
That you just get into the grind, and hours turn into days turn into weeks turn into months turn into years, and you look up and you're like, hey, I don't even know who you are.
Right.
And I think vastly that is because we don't set like intention in our relationships. We just kind of expect them to be there and then act surprised when we didn't put anything into them when they're not there.
Right.
We just look up and are like, I don't know you. I'm not connected to you anymore. And it's like, well, but you've invested nothing here for the last decade. Why would you expect there to be something here? And we wonder why relationships fall apart so quickly.
Right.
I personally believe, and this is just my opinion,
Get ready.
that it's like one of the number one reasons why relationships fail. There's no intention behind the relationship. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome when you first get together and it's that, like, I guess, honeymoon phase or whatever you call it. It's full of dreams, it's full of hopes, it's everything's love and roses and happiness.
But I think that we forget how much attention and intention we put towards our relationships at that beginning.
That's what I'm
stage.
saying. We just naturally do all that in that beginning stage. And then we don't think
Then
about...
we're like, woo, that's a lot of work. And like, I got my
Right.
partner hook, line, and sinker. I don't have to do all of that work anymore.
Right.
Shoo. Yeah.
And then we don't think about, as the relationship progresses on and the years kind of go by, that all of a sudden, if you're not putting work into it, you're growing apart.
I think it's a natural and just kind of,
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, as far as our relationship is concerned, this is the single most important thing we probably have ever done in our relationship. This exercise that we're talking about today.
It definitely has had a big impact in
Absolutely.
our relationship and in our lives.
I think it changed the trajectory of everything we were doing.
Yes, I would say that's accurate.
I mean, so therefore I've got to put it up there with like...
You really thought through this.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I was all about this one.
Yeah.
This one's important to me.
It is. I think that, and it is such... I was just going to say it's such a simple exercise, but it's not.
But it is.
It is.
But
it's
it's
super
not,
simple,
right?
but it's not.
Right.
And yeah, are you going to tell people what you're talking about?
We're talking about what we call the perfect day exercise.
Right.
And it's so simple to do. And it's something that you should do with your partner. I mean, you should each individually do it and then come together and talk about it. And it's so easy. It's almost stupid. You sit down and you write out what the perfect day for you would look like.
Yeah.
And you start from the moment you get up.
Just a regular day.
Just a regular day. Yeah, nothing like, not going to like win the lottery. That's not your perfect day. But like a regular, what is your perfect regular living
Normal day.
Normal day. What does that look like to you? What do you want it to look like to you?
How do you want it to feel? What do you want the
Right,
interactions to
all
be?
of those things. And you go through the whole day. You
Where
start
are
in
you
the
spending
morning.
your time?
Right.
Where are you spending your energy?
Right? Like, I mean, just as an example, mine starts out, wake up and not to an alarm clock. I hate a freaking alarm clock. And we have some coffee and hang out and watch the morning news. And then I get to go for a hike because, it's my perfect day.
Right.
And then after that, because magically there's enough hours in the day,
Right.
I get to go to work, I mean,
Right.
it's,
Right.
but that's what it's kind of about. It's about dreaming.
It is. It's about dreaming. It's about being honest with yourself about the things that are important to you, like hikes, right?
Right.
So that the more you are in touch with those things, the more you can kind of say, wow, how do I incorporate a little bit more of that
Right.
into my regular day?
And that's what the whole point behind it is. How do I get some intention behind some of these dreams? And I think it allows you to dream a little bit again.
Yeah.
And I think we lose that in our relationships as the grind keeps going on in the years.
I think we lose
the
that
ability
in
to
our
dream.
lives, much
Right.
less in our relationships.
Right. And so here all of a sudden is this exercise that's so simple, and it's just simply writing out and allowing yourself to dream a little bit. And then here's the kicker. You both do it. And you write your whole day out from beginning to end. And then you come together and you share it with each other. And that feels vulnerable sometimes, and it feels scary sometimes because you're like, I want to do all these things. And your partner gets to sit down and say, I want to do all these things.
Right.
But what's so cool about that is when you're in a relationship, you're like, oh wow, how do we make some of these things happen?
Right.
And for us, I think it's the single most tangible thing we've ever done to change kind of a direction we were going in relationship.
I think it's a great opportunity to open up these kind of conversations with each other.
Right. And that's really what you're doing, is
Yeah.
you're having a conversation about what your hopes and your dreams are.
Yeah.
But it's such a simple tool that allows you to do that. And it's, this one, the perfect day exercise, literally changed our life. I mean, we decided we wanted to work together. We decided we wanted to spend more time traveling. We decided we wanted to spend more time, when we moved from one house to another, we built out our business in a different way. All because of
Our
this.
free time looks alike.
Our free time was completely different. I'd say we took our health a lot more important.
Right.
All because of this, because we sat down and just dared to dream.
Right. And that was like it's an ongoing practice. I mean, it's funny.
Right, and I was just about to say,
I
she
just
did it today. Right.
I haven't done it in a while, but I think we first started this like 3 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago. And then I would kind of intentionally sit down like once a quarter.
I'd say now I try to do it about every 6 months.
Yeah.
And then we kind of try to talk through it a little bit. I think as you've done it, you
Right.
get better at it, and you get better at sharing that. And then what you notice is, like, it doesn't drastically change.
No, and in fact, I think that's why I haven't done it in so long. It's like the prequel,
Right.
Perfect Day, have kind of evolved.
Right.
And there's maybe less of a need
Right.
to do it.
Well, because I think here's the cool kicker, right? After you do this, and after you sit down and talk about it, and after you dare to dream a little bit, and kind of share that, and that just the act of that draws you closer in relationship. Then all of a sudden you put some intention behind it. Wow, you know what? That's actually attainable. Or
Yeah.
pieces of that
Or that-
are
yeah.
actually attainable. We could do that next week.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you start doing it, and you give yourself permission to do it.
And to play around with it and see how
Right.
it might, maybe version 1 doesn't work, but
Right.
version 3.4
Right, exactly.
is, kind of where you hit the nail on the head.
But it allows you to get creative enough in your relationship to start making some changes and putting some intention behind some things that you want to see, that just starts to turn this boat and change the trajectory a little bit.
Right.
And I think that's why it's so important to me, because I think that's what it's done. I think it continues to guide a lot of that, of what we've done.
Yeah.
And behind that perfect day thing, we start writing down intentions and goals, and we're very goal-oriented people, so we write down quarterly goals and annual goals, and you know.
But I think the perfect day offers a platform to step into some vulnerability of,
Right.
you know, this is what I want, this is what I need. This is
Right,
what my
it
dream
gives
is.
voice to that, and you have this moment where, without judgment, you sit down and you talk to each other. And that, just like we said a minute ago, that draws you so much closer. You're like, wow, I didn't know that. Or, wow, I love that. Let's do that, you know? And it's a great date night, okay? Sit down and write your stuff down and go out to dinner and talk about it. And I think it'll change your night, at least, you know? I guarantee you it will.
Yeah.
So I think that's the challenge,
That's the challenge.
is to sit down and you and your partner write out what your perfect day looks like.
So you might want to take a couple of minutes when you're doing this and just kind of be in a space that allows you to do it. Like I happen to do mine. I took a little personal retreat time this afternoon. I was sitting at the beach. It was cold. It was cold at the beach today. But, you know, I just kind of had entered into a space, had taken some breaths, you know, just kind of cleared my head, opened my heart,
Right.
and like just let it flow.
Right.
Yeah, and so the invitation is to allow yourself the time and space to
Right.
really be in the experience.
Right. Right.
It took me 20, 30 minutes.
I know it doesn't, you know, once you do it, it's not like, it's a simple thing. It's a simple exercise. It doesn't take a lot. It's the act of actually setting aside the time.
Yeah.
You put more work in all that than you do actually just doing it.
Right, right.
So, yeah, I do it. I guarantee you, if you allow yourself to dream a little bit and then you share it with your partner, it'll draw you closer. It might put a bug in your head to start changing the way your relationship looks.
It is a beautiful thing.
Right.
It is.
You guys have a great
Awesome.
week.
Have a good one.
Bye.